how to stop thinking so much about the future by attending to your five senses. One of the great things in the Vedic worldview is come to your senses. Come to your senses. It's an old saying, you might have heard your grandmother say it once. Hey, come to your senses. Come to your senses means something very literal in the Vedic philosophy. You see, your five senses cannot experience anything but the present. Your mind thinks all about the past. Oh, the past, this happened, that happened, oh, that happened, that happened. Oh, I forgot this happened too, and that happened too. Thinking, past. And then, oh, then what's going to happen? Oh, the future's going to come. It's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be that, it's going to be that. Oh, thinking, speculating, future. Oh, is it going to be good? What will I do? This will happen, that'll happen. There'll be an earthquake and California will fall into the sea, and then where will I be? Maybe I should buy real estate in Arizona and get a beachfront property. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. Speculation. All this thinking. And what's missing from all this? The thing into which the past empties is the present. And that thing which actually the future issues forth from is the present. The present is that into which the past empties. And the present is that from which the future issues forth. This present moment awareness is the most valuable awareness. And yet we happily trade it for selective remembrance of all kinds of nonsense from our past that isn't relevant anymore, or for shoddy guesswork, speculation about the future, which isn't relevant yet. And even most of our predictions about the future are completely false. You know, anyone who's listening to this can think, 1 year ago you thought you knew what was going to happen over the next year. It turns out that everything you thought was going to happen didn't happen. Maybe one or two things happened that you got accurate. I would warrant that 95% of everything you thought was going to happen didn't in fact actually happen. And so then, what is the accuracy of all this speculation? If we want a good future, we need to have a very, very rich present. A rich present is going to be the basis of a good future. But what have you done with the present? You've trashed it. You've destroyed it. You've trampled it under your dirty shoes of the past. And you've trampled it under all the speculation about the future, most of which speculation you get wrong. And so what is all this mindless activity about past and future? And the two things are connected. Anyone who's thinking about the future all the time is also obsessed with the past. No one who is either obsessed with the past or the future is solely obsessed with the past or the future. It's both of them in a very poor trade for the present moment. The present moment doesn't seem to exist. The Vedic advice is stop. Let your senses dictate to you what you're experiencing. Why? If right now I allow myself to experience the level of taste. I had some delicious Mexican food for lunch about half an hour ago, and the lovely flavors of it are still resonating with my palate. I had a nice cup of tea after that, sitting in my garden, and I can feel the sensation of that still in my mouth. And then smell. I can smell somebody in this room who is wearing sandalwood, and the lovely smell of sandalwood is here, and all that means to me, all that is for me, the fresh smell. If you are wherever you are, it might be the smell of a rainstorm coming or one that's already come. It might be any kind of fragrance that's around, or even smells that aren't necessarily so attractive, doesn't matter. And now let's move from taste and smell onto the level of touch. I can feel the softness of this shawl against my back and the warmth of it on a slightly chilly autumn day. I can feel the linen of my shirt touching my skin. I can feel under my feet the soft woolen carpet touching the bottoms of my feet when I move my feet around. And then sight. I'm looking at the cameras, the lights, my friends who are filming me, and the beautiful golden light everywhere, reverberating all around, out the windows, beautiful pine trees with a soft little breeze blowing the needles and all of that. Sound. I can faintly hear the whirring sound of the cameras and the air freshener, the air conditioner, and some other little background sounds of some passing traffic, people racing off to try to chase happiness into some place where it's not, in their little cars and everything. Sound. Sound is here and now. Sight, here and now only. My senses of sight, my eyes don't know how to see the past or the future. They can only see what's here right now. My hearing capacity doesn't know how to hear the past or hear the future. It can only experience what's right here and now. Same with taste, same with touch, same with smell. Only the present. Our senses have access only to the present. Why do we come to our senses? By coming to our senses, we come to the present moment. Present moment awareness, which normally is very aggressively ignored by us. Aggressive ignorance. We practice aggressive ignorance of that thing, which is actually the thing out of which your entire future is issuing, moment by moment. You're constructing your future right now. If you're in an anxious present, very anxious about the future, and you're making your present moment all anxious, then you're creating the anxious future. It's issuing forth from your current state of consciousness. What is that state? So to what extent are you actually in charge of what you're experiencing? If you don't have a present moment, you're not in charge of what you're experiencing. You're creating a miserable future for yourself right now. Get into the present. One thing that really aids in this is learning how to transcend. To transcend is a jargon word used by meditators, how to step beyond thought, how to experience the bliss of perfect present moment awareness, not on the sensory level, but going beyond the senses, going beyond thinking, going beyond everything in Vedic meditation. 20 minutes of that in the morning, give yourself a good dose of present moment awareness. 20 minutes of it again late afternoon, early evening, another good dose of present moment awareness. Continue practicing that habitually each day, and what awakens is the present. And the present is a gift. That's another name for a gift. You get to live in the present, in the eternal now, which is present everywhere. This is unified field consciousness. Once you are the master of your present moment awareness, everything else naturally conforms to that, and your whole future issues forth from that beautiful superconscious state. Jai Gurudev.